So once again, my name is Shamim Walusimbi Navagala Nsuvuga, and I'm joined by Nyamwiza Hope, who is our sign language interpreter. Hope, thank you very much for being here. During this purpose-led mentorship session, we know the value of being inclusive, and we know that through our initiatives, we are not leaving anyone behind. So we started by going through a little bit of insight into what we learned from the last session, how it has impacted us. I know quite a number of people who have since gone for job interviews, and suddenly they don't feel that fear. They don't feel that the tension that they would have felt thinking, if I lose this opportunity, I'm done for. We have now gathered the mentality of abundance. We now know that the true competition is with ourselves, not with other people around us. We're just getting better and better versions of ourselves. So just to give you a quick overview of Purpose Verse, that is what we stand for as Purpose Verse. We are trying to break the barriers that keep people locked in their mentalities. We want to ensure that people are aware of their purpose, their inner truth, no doubts, no going to bed at night and wondering, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to do? Who am I right now, and who am I becoming? All that is going to be clear, and it's a journey that you will lead by yourself. What we're doing is just triggering a thought. We are catalysts, and the rest is going to be done by you. So thank you very much. So I'd like to have the opportunity to give you a little brief about this session, basing on what we have done before and what we are going to do going forward. So when we speak about purpose, we know that we are not going to leave anyone behind. It's going to be something that is going to cause a movement around different people. Purpose Verse it is an initiative that works with individuals, it works with leaders and organizations towards achieving a purpose-led transformation and transgenerational redemptive impact. It also enables you to believe that every single human being, and we mean every single human being, an organization, has a redemptive purpose that should positively impact people. We should also positively impact the planet, because we're talking about sustainability, and this has to also transcend. It doesn't just stop at you, but it transcends through generations to come. It outlives you, meaning right now, you here today, you're creating your own legacy. So I would like to let you know that right now we're going through a few sessions, and it will be culminated in a graduation. This is our second free session, and we will have one more. And right after that, we'll go into a cohort such that we can turn this into a series, create accountability, make sure that we actually come out of this stronger and better. So just to introduce you to the main speaker, Gabriel. Gabriel is a husband and a father, and his life purpose is to transform people's mindsets for purpose-led generational impact. Imagine that. He is an all-seasoned corporate executive and a purpose coach with vast experience in purpose-led transformation for leadership, organizations, through strategy, execution, human capital transformation, big data, data science, and market innovation. He has a track record in championing purpose-led transformation through mindset transformation. He believes in co-creating learning and knowledge with others through human-centered design thinking, agile principles, and disruptive technologies in achieving sustainable impact in the marketplace that he engages in. So this is someone with 17 years of experience, and he is my coach. I've been going through these sessions, and believe me, I think those who know me can tell that I'm not the same. as how I was before. Now, together, Gabriel and I can empower your journey through this mindset change process, through this transformative growth, and help you create lasting impacts. This is going to benefit not only your community, but beyond. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for joining us today, because this is a moment when we're going to explore different methodologies that we really need in order to cultivate this mindset of success that we are all yearning for. So now just remember this. I would like you all to pay extra attention, because with the right guidance, with the right support, you and I could navigate this whole journey together, and we can come out with confidence and come out even stronger than ever. Isn't that right, Gabriel? Over to you.
Right. Thank you very much, Shamim. And thank you for giving us a lead session. Allow me, I'll try. Let me see whether I'm visible, because I have a bit of a challenge with my lighting here. I have a limited lighting resource, but I hope I might be in darkness. So you bear with me.
It's okay.
With a bit of a with a bit of a challenge in our power line here, especially because of the heavy lanes. But I'll try to still see how we can navigate through this session. So I'll be switching off my on and off my video just to make sure at least optimize the little laptop energy I have. So thank you so much, and good evening, good morning, depending on where we are viewing this from. My name is Gabriel Nyamu. I am a purpose coach. I'm so delighted that we can be able to have this conversation, and thank you so much for tuning in. I always believe that even when you speak to one person, two people, three people, there is always a movement behind every individual. And I want us to start from there. Never underrate yourself to see yourself in singularity. There are times where you think, oh, I am Gabriel myself, I am Patience, I am Nightest, I am Moira. And you think in that singularity, meaning you're looking at yourself as just only me alone. I want us to have this mindset, and this is some of the things that we handle in purpose coaching. Behind every single human being, there is a movement, there are nations, and there is generation. I hope you got me right. Behind every individual, there is a movement, there is nations, and there is generations. Because when you live your life purpose, those are the things you directly impact. You impact a community around you, and that's purely a movement. And then after that, there will be nations that will be established after you, and there will be generations that you live way after your physical living is long gone. So never look at yourself as an individual only, and you see the singularity of the simplicity of it's only me. Sometimes, and sorry to mention this, sometimes when I talk to people who are going through, let's say, depression, mental health, some even with suicidal thoughts, it's where you reach a place where people start thinking, what is the meaning of life? I can probably, it's better when I'm not living. And I tell them, wait a minute, do you know what? You should value life not based on yourself, but based on the movement behind you, based on the nations that are supposed to be impacted through you. And finally, based on generations in future that will depend on your life. I know that's something that we need a retreat to go and reflect, because I can ask each one of us, how does what you're doing transcend beyond you? It's a very serious conversation. I spend a lot of time in corporate space, in my consultancy and coaching space, and these are some of the questions that are dilemma in life, where many people don't have answers. And therefore, we are like living a day at a time in what we call survival mode. And what happens is that you don't get fulfilled. There is no transgenerational mindset or view of how your life spans beyond you, and even how you impact the environment around you. Allow me tonight, I'll try to minimize aspects of presentation. I know we did that when we launched, and I want to congratulate Shamim for being very diligent. After the last time we did the launch here, We launched this purpose-led coaching, the Uganda edition, and Shamim is our chapter coordinator within Uganda. And we are going to build a movement, a global movement there. So those who are early adopters or people who are likely to join this movement as early as possible, they are going to have more benefits than maybe the people that are likely to come way later. So I want to congratulate the Uganda team. My name is Gabriel Nyamo again. I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. My brief background is that I've been in the consultancy space currently for the last 10 years. But before then, I was in corporate space, where I served in the banking, in career spanning from human resource, rose up to becoming a HOD in one of the financial services globally. And then, of course, later I moved to strategy, where I was reading transformation. And it's something that I love so much about transformation, both for individuals and also for organizations. And then currently, I indulge more on the purpose-led transformation, where I provide coaching service, both for individuals and also for organizations. That's a little of the background. So why are we here? This is our second free edition for the Uganda team. It's going to be very short, and therefore we're not going to keep you for long. Maybe in the next 20 minutes, we are done. I would like this session to be more anchored on some of your questions. So I would like it to be more, instead of PowerPoint slides, which I have, yes, but just to allow it to be more, question and answer, where I can receive some questions from you, where are the dilemmas of life. I can be able to guide where I can, where we can't, of course, we can co-create together. But before I do that, I want to just give some few perspectives that are very important, and especially around life and goal setting. Last time we did a certain exposition around when we were doing the launch, and we saw the benefits of having a purpose, which is very critical for all of us to have a purpose statement, and then how you align your career towards that, and even business for those who are in business. How do you align your business towards purpose? Now, the context is that if you succeed but in the wrong direction, I don't think we can call that success. What does that mean? You can make progress, but in the wrong direction. And in my space, because I spend a lot of time in this space and I interact with people in different cadre, whether it's CEOs, founders of businesses, directors of companies, managers, senior leadership, that's all the people that I spend a lot of time with. Anytime you interact with most of these people, you'll find somebody is telling you, Gabriel, wait a minute. One day I really desired to be a business founder. Today I have a business, but I don't think I'm getting fulfilled. Then I ask them, how did you define the success in that context? And you find within them, they are not able even to articulate. They will tell you, I'm not fulfilled. I'm not still feeling like I have got it. Yet I have succeeded in other areas. I have acquired titles. I have traveled the world. I have a team that I manage. I have employees. We are making profit as a business, but I still feel a vacuum. So we said that last time, success but in the wrong direction is not success, or making progress by the wrong direction. If your life was meant to go north and then you are moving with speed towards west, can you call that success? Not at all. So success is very directional. What gives you direction? Direction is given by your life purpose, because the purpose that you're supposed to fulfill here on earth actually existed before you existed. You are born for this generation. We are calling ourselves now 21st century. The reason why you are born in this 21st century is because there is something redemptive that you're supposed to impact this generation such a time before you see decay. Now, question is, what is that? What is that you have to fulfill? You may notice our careers, and I don't like using the word career a lot, because that word career has been kind of one of the reasons why many people are stuck. Because sometimes when I ask you, who are you? Like Nyamuiza Hope. Who are you, Sadra Gloria? Who are you, Velma Kasebo? Chances are, and I don't have time, really could have done that practically, but I don't have that timeline now. If I asked you who you are, chances are, even from the introduction, one of you was talking about themselves. You'll see us introducing ourselves on what we do. And that's why we get it wrong. Because what you do not necessarily is your identity. That's not necessarily who you are. And you may find you can do so many things. Today you are in management, tomorrow you are doing selling, you're in business, the other day you are a mentor in the church, another, you can do so many things. So if you define yourself in what you do, you'll always get paralysis. So you'll find people saying, I am a HR, okay? Is that really who you are? Or is that what you do? Because most of the times, purpose will anchor you on who you are than what you do. But by you becoming or by you being who you are, automatically you will do. So I know for those who are here in the first edition, we talked about 3 dilemmas of human being. The dilemma of acquiring things. There's always a desire within you every day to acquire something. Like you can acquire a title, like you want to be called a doctor, a professor, you want to be called a honorable, and also acquiring possession, like you want to acquire a title deed, a logbook, a new smart device. There's always that drive for acquiring something. And it's always a whisper within you, can I acquire a new thing, a stature, a status? There is another drive we call the drive to execute, or the drive to do. Do is completing tasks. And when you go to the city, like you go to Kampala and Entebbe, here in Nairobi, you go to Johannesburg, you go to London, you go to Amsterdam, you go to New York, all these big cities, you find people on roller coaster, moving with speed to try to do things. You ask somebody, where are you going? There's a project I'm completing. There's a study I'm pursuing to finish a certain MBA. People are busy doing things. But you pause a minute and you ask them, why are you doing it? They can't answer you. That's a second dilemma, the dilemma of doing. And the third dilemma, which is the reason why we are called human beings, is the dilemma of becoming, being. Why we are called human being. We are not called human doing or human acquiring. And I hope you get that mystery there. We are called human beings. So question is, and this should be the question you'll be asking yourself, who am I becoming? A very big question. Whose many people always struggle. Who am I becoming? I always like giving my story. One of the things when I introduce myself, of course, I'll say purpose coaching, but of course, generally, I'll tell you I'm becoming a fountain of wisdom and knowledge that helps people live purpose-led living, which I usually call F.I.T Living, fulfilling, impactful, transcending living. I am that fountain. I'm becoming that fountain or a well or a source of knowledge, of wisdom that can help people live fulfilling, impactful, and transcending life. That's who I'm becoming. So every day when I evaluate myself, if you find me on a typical day and you judge the things I do, let me tell you, get confused. Why? The things I do could be so many. I do strategy consultancy. I'm a strategy consultant, and I help organizations come up with strategic plans, execution plans, target operating model, transformation pathway. I am very deep in that space. You'll find me in HR because I practice HR for 13 years. I'm a certified HR consultant. So you may find me doing those job evaluation, competency development framework, leadership programs. We are doing restructuring, organization development, OD designs, all those things. Those are things we'll do. I am also in data science. I love big data and analytics. You'll find me doing analytics, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence. I'm very passionate about that space. Now, if you judge me from what I do, let me tell you, you'll have a very long version of myself. You'll be wondering, who is this person? You're in HR, you're doing strategy, you're doing transformation, you're doing restructuring, you're doing consultancy, you're doing coaching, you're doing big data and analytics. And that can be confusing. And that's the dilemma of life. If you judge your life on what you're doing, let me tell you, you'll get confused. Because sometimes you may not even necessarily find value. But if you question why you are doing what you're doing and the who you are becoming, those two questions is where you get liberation. And let me get, if you get clarity of that, you live lives that are very, very different. So as I do my consultancy, I'm very clear. I do consultancy because I want to drive purpose-led transformation. It's the denominator there. When I'm doing big data and analytics, I'm also championing to get evidence to back purpose-led transformation. So the denominator within my life is always transformation, purpose. They are keywords you can never miss. Whether I do 100 deals, that's not an issue. But there's always one constant. How do I determine the business to do? I determine the business to do based on the same. Based on that, can I get transformation? Can I get purpose? Of course, that's purpose transformation that produces impact. Constant in everything that I do. And when I focus on that, I am not confused. I am not in any dilemma. So I hope you get that analogy of the power of becoming. It's very important. That's why we are called human beings, not human doing, not even human acquiring or human having. First, I want to do that. But quickly, maybe before I allow some Q&A, I would like probably to anchor you on something we call the purpose mapping. You'll have a privilege to see this. It's a premier thing that it's only access to people who probably have done our programs. So I'm going to share quickly something here. You have an advantage of this. Let me share my screen. There's a principle we use in purpose-led coaching, and this principle is never try to diversify when you have not converged. I hope that statement is clear. Never try to diversify. There are people who are in business, they are trying to create new income lines. They are trying to diversify. Never try to diversify if you have not first converged. It's a principle by itself. Now, this principle is very strong because it helps you navigate life, first of all, having a singularity of meaning. Let me tell you the questions that we go through here. We may not have time today. We are going to have more sessions, maybe talk about this, and also the structure session we are going to have from July. Now, how do you get to this convergence then? We use a certain imagery, which we first of all start with by defining your life, the why, your blueprint, which is your life purpose blueprint, and something we call impact model, how you impact people around you, community around you. We start from there. So when you converge, then you can diversify when you're talking about growth, scaling, and sustainability. That's now you. This gives you the whole purpose map. You converge first, and then you can diversify. So when you see me do multiple things, I do strategy, I do big data analytics, I do coaching, I'm kind of have a diversification. But before that diversification, there was a singularity of where everything converged. And that's my purpose and who I'm becoming. How do you explain this from some self-evaluation question? For those who were there last time, I want you to read this, move from bottom going upwards, from number 1 to number 10. If you get clarity on these 10 things, which is what we shall be doing from month of July to October, we shall be doing this whole journey through a specific cohort. So you have an privilege to see this map before. Then you do vision board. People do vision board, but when you ask them, what is the purpose behind the vision? They can't answer you. Sometimes you do this, and I have done it myself in many times. I have coached many people, hundreds and thousands. And sometimes you find people telling you help them do vision board, but they have no clarity of their purpose. What if you cast the wrong vision? What if you come up with the wrong vision? You end up visualizing the wrong direction. You make progress, but completely in the wrong direction. So what gives your vision, angle, and direction is the purpose. Now, these are the questions you ask yourself. What are my convictions of needs in people and the planet that I am the one to redeem? I am the one to fulfill. Maybe you see some injustice. You see people who are poor, and you're the one to provide redemption through financial empowerment. And you can start a bank. You can start financial service. That's okay. Or you find people rotting in ignorance, and probably you need to be the one to provide the knowledge gap. Therefore, you may start a college or a school. But it has to be preceded with convictions. For those who were there last time, we defined what is conviction. Conviction is the knowledge of truth that, first of all, pushes you to become and then to do. That's what you call conviction. Knowledge of truth, which is a light, a form of light. Knowledge and light are almost the same, and also a form of truth. So what is the knowledge which is established from absolute truth that gives you convictions of needs in people or planet that you are the one to fulfill? That's where we begin. That question can take you even a whole month to answer. It's not a very simple question. We have people who have no conviction. Leaders who are leaders, but you ask them, what is your conviction? They can't tell you why they are leading. So they know they are leading. Somebody has a title called a CEO, but they can't tell you why they are leading. They have no convictions. So you ask them, what compelled you to become that president? What compelled you to become that CEO, that chairman, that leader, that board member? They can't tell you. And that's why we have a problem. The second question, I'm just rushing them, then I will have an open-ended question feedback session. Now, number two is, who do you impact, or which space in the world do you impact? I must admit to you here, you are not created to impact everybody. Don't carry the whole world with you. I have some people who I see like carrying what you call Matayani kind of syndrome, where it's like they always get sad when they see problems in the world, every problem in the world. You see sick people, you feel bad. You see poor people, you don't want to see poor people. You see people who are losing jobs, who are unemployed, you are not called to address everybody's needs. Let me tell you that. We have almost now 8+ billion people in the world. You cannot save everybody. There is a specific niche within the planet or within people that you are called for. I know, and for those who have attended, and I know Shamim have been going through this, when I share the people that I impact, I don't impact everybody. And I have classification of the people I impact high impact, people I impact to a large extent, people I impact in a very small way. Like if I don't impact mostly like the little children, like, you know, primary school, I'm not necessarily called for that space. It doesn't mean I don't speak to schools. I am called to speak in schools, yes. But I know myself, I gravitate mostly within a certain class of people that I'm able to impact. I especially corporate, the elite class. I have a word for them. I impact the others, yes, but in a smaller way. That is called a niche, a subset of people or planet which you have high impact. If you don't discover that, let me tell you, you'll be misplaced. You'll be learning helter-skelter in many, looking for a job. By people who come to me and tell me, Gabriel, this is my 8th job. I'm still not finding my place. What is my niche? They can't figure out that. Number 3 is, how do you impact? Having known the niche, first of all, you started with the conviction, you know the niche. Now you ask yourself, how do I impact this space or people themselves? Now, how you impact them is what you yourself you do to impact them. But you check number 4 is very different. There's what myself I will do, like I'll do mentorship, I'll do the coaching, I'll do consultancy. That's what I do to impact people. But look at number 4. Number 4 talks about how do those people themselves change and transform. There's a story I always give, and I'll repeat it again. You'll bear with me if I've heard it before, where there's a public speaker, somebody who is a global public speaker. We were having this interaction of purpose coaching, and she was trying to figure out and see what is really my space in this world, and you know, and when we were going through that process, she told me, Gabriel, I know I do public speaking, but how people get impacted is that they get courage and confidence and believe in themselves. Now, those are 2 things. There's what she does. What she does is public speaking, and that can form a career or a profession. But to people, when she do public speaking, the people who she is impacting, how do they change and transform? They get courage, they get confidence. Somebody who was in a self-defeat where they were giving up, they kind of get liquided in terms of confidence to believe in themselves. That's how they change and transform. Then number 5 is, who do I need to become? That is now the being, so that I can do number 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the convergence of life is. That's why we are called human being, the being part. Who am I becoming so that I can carry my date? Now, if you read that statement now from 5 going downwards, you'll be asking yourself this question. Who do I need to become so that people, through my life, people change and transform through, like for me, coaching, training, consultancy, and these people are who? The people that, the subset, the niche the core people that you impact, if you have clarity of what are the convictions in life that you have established that, you know, of needs in people's life that you are the one to fulfill? That's the first question. And then number two, of course, is what is the niche, which is your cut out niche that, of course, you don't impact everybody. There are those specific people that you are called to impact, or that specific space that you are called to impact. That's the second one. Number three, of course, is what do you do to impact? How do you impact them? That's the second, the third question. Then how do those people change and transform? Okay, that's the other question. How do they change and transform? Then the fourth one, so that's the fourth one, sorry. Then the fifth one is, who do you need to become so that then you can execute that mandate? That's the journey. So if you're able to answer those first 5 questions, it will become very easy for you in life. The other 5, you can handle them in the next session. But the other 5 now is where we talk about how do you vision, how do you create value proposition for yourself, personal strategy, how do you sustain your impact. Those are additional after you have done the first 5. So that generally is some of the things that we should be covering in more in-depth in the other cohort in July. So I hope this gives you a certain teaser in terms of how to approach this process. And I'm sure that when we get maybe some other sessions, we can be able to also dissect some of your queries that you may have or clarifications you may have. So I want us just to have a quick session for Q&A or quick question and answer. Then we can be able to close the session today, because actually we were supposed to do around 40 minutes, but so we're in the bonus period. So thank you so much. I want to park there for now and just allow some few freelance questions that may come on the floor. Over to you, Shamim.
All right, thank you so much. Just like I mentioned, when you start talking, it's just very mesmerizing. We just keep wanting to know more and seeing how best we can apply whatever little that we have heard from you. So I really love the fact that you have opened up our minds to understand that we do need a niche. We cannot serve everybody. So we need to ensure that we first of all understand those convictions. Because I know so many people who say, I want a job or I want to start a business, and they look at the money aspect. What is going to be more profitable for me? But using this approach that you're showing us, it's going to make us understand the impact that we're creating more than just something that's going to start and fail. We shift to another thing and fail. That we don't need that confusion anymore. And going forward, we're going to organize ourselves. So it's open. Any questions, comments, feedback? Open to all those. How has it impacted you? We're at the tail end of this. Any reflections that you'd like to share? This is your moment. And it's also good for personal branding, because this session, this recording, you have no idea the impact that it's going to create and the people that are going to see it. So please feel free to unmute and share. Alice Nadunga, I see you on the call. Are you there? You can unmute. Or Angela Nachiemba, you want to say something before we close? Yes, Angela.
Hello. Yes, hello. Hi, Shamim, and hi, Gabriel.
Hello.
Thank you for thank you for organizing this the series. I really look forward to the sessions to come. My experience so far, joining this purposely, like my whole idea about the mentorship, like I had a different picture in mind, but getting to hear about helping us find our purpose and how we can impact others has really changed my mindset. And now I'm looking at how me personally, I would want to impact like people I work with and maybe the people, let's say, I supervise, and let's say also in the future, in case I want to venture into maybe a business, how I would also impact like other people I get to work with. Yes, so and then today in today's session, I think it gives me like a picture where I have to do like some self-reflection on the person I want to become, how I want to impact the people I work with, and in the future. Yes. So far, this has been my experience so far, and it really gives me an opportunity to self-reflect and re-strategize. And I'm looking forward to what more I could learn from the series.
Okay, that's
Thank
so
you.
amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Angela. And indeed, the one takeaway as well that I have is just the fact that what gives your vision direction is your purpose. So right now we are going linear. We're not going to. You know how they say life is full of ups and downs, but it doesn't have to be like that. We can make it linear for ourselves just by sorting out the foundations. Isn't that right, Gabriel?
Very true, very true. The principle usually says that things don't go wrong, they start wrong. So when you start long, you'll always go to meander. If you want zigzag life and non-linear life, start long. It will take you leaps and bounces to be able to get the life navigation. But when the foundation is right, you'll come even to challenge the things we did, whether it's the study we do. I see people doing their third master's degree. There are people who are doing their second PhD, and I'm asking them, what are you looking for? And they tell you, the first one, I don't feel like it's fulfilled. And then I ask them, why did you do it? Because things started wrong. So things don't go wrong. They started wrong. If you have the wrong foundation on even building your career, let me tell you, you'll struggle. You will keep hoping all over. And all those are good experiences, yes, because you can tell me, yeah, no experience is in vain. You learn from it. But there's a way that journey could be a bit more defined and you have more long time. There are people I meet, I speak a lot in retirement groups, people, companies, when maybe they are prepared for what you call outplacement, either they are going through release of some employees. And you find people telling you, Gabriel, I'm in 52 years, I'm 49 years. This is the time I'm figuring out like really what my life is. And I'm like, you've really worked all throughout your life up to 50 years. This is the time you're getting the real direction. Why? It's because you're starting too late. What if you started this way when you're from teenager, when you're going to campus to do that first degree? You'll have more years to impact humanity than to discover yourself. But many of us, you take 40 years to discover yourself. Then you only have like 10, 20 years somewhere when you still have energy to really impact humanity. That should not be the case. You better discover your purpose early. You'll have more years to serve people. And of course, we serve God through serving people, and that will be more fulfilling. So I wanted to say, yes, that's the reality.
Perfect. Thank you. And what I learned going through the journey myself is that you get an armor. For some reason, you feel protected. Because one of the things that hold us back is people's reputations of us. You're always afraid. I haven't yet gotten through it completely. That's why I'm always in Gabriel's inbox and trying to see, okay, how can we do it together, navigate such as we can help others. And this mindset change, this mindset shift is really just giving us that armor, enabling us to just see crystal clear where we're going, and everything around us that seems like a distraction, the naysayers, the people that have beef for you, the people that you think are against you, want to harm you, you'll have crystal clear focus. And I assure you, as long as you are seeing it, as long as you visualize what you are doing and understand who you're becoming, you'll be able to see all those things around you. But for some reason, you will be brave, you'll be stronger, and we're going to do this together. So thank you very much, Daniel. And sorry, Gabriel, unless we have any other question out there For those who have joined just now, do you have any question, comment? Because we're just packing it up right now in preparation for the next session. Anyone?
Okay, good evening.
Evening.
Yes, good evening.
Okay. My name is Anyango. I'm in Kenya. And Shamim has just spoken my mind. I wanted to ask something with regards to mindset. Looking at this journey of trying to find a purpose and probably impacting other people. And being a HR I'm a HR by profession. And I'm looking at trying to identify a niche that probably I myself probably can be able to impact. I'm looking at that besides now impacting the other people in the society as abroad. Um, how do we go about it in the sense that in an organization you have different kind of people, different mindset and whatnot, different perceptions. How is it possible that you can be able to identify a niche in an organization that have people with different personalities, different understandings, and whatnot?
Right,
Yes,
great.
Gabriel, over to you.
Thank you, Nyango. That's a very good question. I know here we are going very high level, so it's we are not necessarily getting to the granular part. But when we go through the actual session, we literally will go through that process of how do you find the niche. When I say that you are not called for everybody, there are some few things that I would like you I can give you maybe as a reflection to go and journal. And some of these things are there people who have ever given you feedback and they told you, Anyango, you've been such a blessing to me. Since I knew you, since I started interacting with you, my life have changed. Challenge is that we usually don't take journal. We don't document our life experiences. If you take a record and keep a journal of some of those over a period of time, let me tell you, your niche will take shape. Number two, people that will always be attracted to your presence. God is not a God of confusion. Let me tell you, if you are called to maybe build leadership, let me tell you, God will make sure you get exposed. Anytime, whenever you try to run to, you find some broken leadership. If God calls you to fix culture issues, you'll always find yourself, even when you resign from one job to get to another job, it's like there's an environment that kind of follow you up in terms of you thought you were running away from a toxic culture, you get another more toxic culture, you think you are running away, you get another employer, that one, you still find the same. Chances are that is a space you need to redeem. You are the solution. You need to be the right of the word there. You need to be the salt. Most of the time is only that we don't reflect. We don't record, we don't journal, we don't reflect. I can give you more than 10 indicators that I can help you refine your niche area, especially if you're intentional in terms of defining it. So don't focus on maybe the challenges that are there within the organization. Try to ask yourself, could I be the one that has a redemptive solution to these issues? There are also things that you find easily give you something we call hoary discontent. And I know we talked about this sometimes back. Hoary discontent is what we call hoary anger. Hoary anger is where you find something or an experience, and then you feel down in your inner self. You feel so angry about something, like, I wish I was the one there. I had a solution for it. And you feel like you want to wake up. Maybe even a management meeting, you find something that is not in order, and you feel within you, there's some burning kind of anger in a positive way, not an anger that, of course, is evil. An anger that, no, there's something that could have been done. The reason why that anger is coming, or what we call hoary discontent, is because that is a space you are called to redeem. Now, there are more than 10 areas that we check. And when you go through that process, you'll always discover there's a pattern somewhere that points toward the niche. However, don't try to identify a niche if you don't have conviction of that niche. Remember that purpose map starts with the convictions. You are jumping the gun going to the niche area. First of all, question is, what is the clarity of your life convictions first? The niche will be stage 2, and you don't jump that space. Otherwise, if you try to start with the niche before the convictions, you again may end up in the long space. So there's a way we do it practically when you're doing the life coaching. And I'm sure once we interact more, you're going to see that take shape. But that's a very good question that you have raised.
Amazing.
you.
Thank you very much, Onyango, for that wonderful question. And thank you so much, Gabriel, for responding. So we've come to the end of our session today. I know we're hungry for more. It was just boiling through our minds, but that is really what it's meant to do. How you're feeling, if you feel that I need more, that exactly is what you need in order to thrive. You don't need Shamim, you don't need Gabriel. All you need is that spark within your mind and those key takeaways that you have learned today. Now go and use them and show the world who you truly are. Thank you very much for dialing in. Maybe Gabriel, you can have your parting shots at this point. Kindly share, and then we will call it at night.
Yeah, thank you so much. And especially for those who have joined today, thank you so much for the engagement. I must say that everything starts from the desire, the will, just that willingness that I want to have my life figured out. I don't want to run helter-skelter, being busy, but with no impact, no fulfillment, nothing I can really leave behind me. It will start from there. So if you have that hunger, and I believe that's why you came to this session, you are in the right place. Of course, our work is just to give you a helping hand, just a holding hand, just to make sure at least we can walk you through the journey, share our experiences, a lot of testimonies that will come there in terms of the mistake we have made, and through that you learn from each other. Now we are going to have another session, which is in the month of June. So one more session in June, and that will be still a free session just to help allow you just to ask questions and just have a taste of this. Then on that date, we are going to unveil the 3 months, which we call the 10 weeks coaching series that will start in July. That now is for serious people. This was just to give you a kind of a certain tips. But for those who are serious, now we are going to go through 10 thorough extensive weeks. Those weeks will help you achieve 5 things. You're going to find your purpose. You're going to find a way of fueling it. All of them are FF. Fueling it. You're going to find a way of focusing it, focusing your purpose. You're going to find ways of fulfilling and flourishing in that purpose. And then finally, future-proofing, which we call legacy. So it is structured in 5 stages. Those 5 stages are going to take you through a very rigorous exercise. By the time you finish, I can assure you, your life will have taken up barely, no confusion, unless yourself are not willing to go through the mindset transformation. This is not a training like you go attend a training, you had head knowledge. No. This program is mindset transformation. It is going to deconstruct some of the paradigms, some of the ideologies, or we call them worldviews, that maybe you have believed that actually causing you to be in stagnation. Things like Maslow hierarchy of needs. Oh, I'm meant supposed to, first of all, to survive. After survival, then I'll go to meet my psychological needs, physiological needs. You know, there are those things. Even the way we look at things like life and learning is going to completely change. So we are going to handle that in July to October, 3 months up to September. Then in October, for the sake of those maybe who may not know, on October, we shall hold an annual celebration we usually do every year. That celebration is called Annual Purpose Fest and Purpose-Led Leadership Summit. And we are hoping that we are going to celebrate together. That time, we are also going to graduate the people who have done the 10 weeks. We are going to graduate. And then we have something we call Annual Purpose for Impact Awards, where we celebrate purpose-led leaders globally. It's not just going to be for Uganda, it's supposed to be global. We are going to have many speakers coming, international speakers, and we shall have our global celebration through what we call Purpose Fest. And we are going to unveil more details as we go on. That's what you expect ahead, kindly. So in the month of June, another free edition for 1 hour. Feel free to attend, invite others. Kindly, can you promise us? Come with at least 3 or 4, 5 other friends for the June one. Don't leave them behind. Don't transform yourself alone and you're leaving other people. Kindly be generous. Extend this invitation to the rest of your friends and colleagues at your workplace. God bless you and thank you so much. Over back to Shamima, you close.
Okay, and maybe just to end, I have a testimony. Right now, I'm taking this call from Singapore. It's actually 1 a.m. 1 a.m., guys. And at the time we had the first session, I didn't know I was going to come here. It was just a dream. I just heard that there was an HR conference, World HR conference happening in Singapore. And I was just like any other person just there in Uganda saying, it would be nice to go there. And then it just transformed right after the first session. I just transformed it into a conviction, like I have to represent my country, I have to represent my continent.
Awesome.
And the fact that I'm on the board of the Africa HR Confederation, I felt like whatever it takes, let me just try, let me see if I can talk to the organizers, see if they can allow me to just come in as a representative, see what value I can add as well. And long story short, here I am in Singapore. If I knew that I was coming, I would have probably thought, let me schedule this call for when I come back, because I wasn't sure about the time difference thing. But I just feel like the universe has put this all together. The fact that I'm here today speaking to you, I know you have your own testimony that you're going to share, and we want this session to be as interactive as possible. Moira shared what she learned. I love that Angela has as well. So we want everyone to share their story. Don't be afraid to let the world see what good things are happening for you. You might be afraid of people who see your envy, maybe they take it differently, but for sure, if you consider the people that are inspired by you, Gabriel will tell you, you cannot leave them behind. You cannot decide to think that their growth does not depend on your success. Gabriel, I love that conviction of yours. Maybe you can just quickly share it with them, such that we know that how important our contribution is to the society. Gabriel, as we close.
Yeah, that's fine. And first of all, can we clap for and celebrate Shamim? I love hearing that testimony. Congratulations, Shamim. We are proud of you. Represent not your country. I think you are representing Africa there. I'm sure there are other delegates, but you're also part of the African delegation of HR leaders in the marketplace that actually are represented. We are proud of you. And may these, of course, open more doors even to unleash your potential more grow. But I think you've already positioned that. Now, when it comes to that comment, I would say that your growth is not for you, because usually say you are not created for yourself. If you are, just imagine if life was so selfish that you are born to live for yourself. We call that poverty. Sorry to use that word. Poverty is living for yourself. If all what you're doing aids at you, it's about you. I have a job, I just want to educate my children, I live a good house, I take a mortgage, I repay the mortgage. If life is cycling around that, my friend, sorry to say, that's poverty. Because you are not created for yourself. You should ask yourself this question: what is that thing? I call it a purpose debt. What is that debt in life? A life debt I have to pay in my generation to redeem others. Guess what? There's a statement that Shamim have mentioned, and I want to reiterate it. When you are purpose-led, when you start focusing on your God-given purpose, what happens is this: everything around life, let me tell you, God protects you for it. Meaning, I usually say purpose galvanizes you. It's like, you know that you take life assurance? Is it life assurance, life insurance? You know that you take life assurance? If you want to actually be in a safe space, if what you're doing is what God created you for, what happens is God will jealously protect you so that you fulfill that mandate. He will actually make ways and pave ways and connections for you to make sure you fulfill his mandate. But when you are against the purpose, let me tell you, you'll be grinding water. You know, you put water on a mortar and you start grinding it like this. So I think the comment is that you are not created for yourself. Your life is redemptive to other people. There are people who are in prison because you have not obeyed your life purpose. There are people committing suicide because they needed probably to have read your book and maybe they changed their mind. Imagine if I don't do what I do. How many people there who are despairing, who are in suicidal thoughts, who are in depression, mental health, who this was their redemption. My life is their redemption. Your life is redemption to other people. And you'll even discover that even your providence, I don't have to struggle to pay my children's school fees, what I eat every day, where my children stay. The moment I got this right, which is almost over 10 years ago, there's a way God aligned everything else to make sure I fulfill his mandate. That's the assurance you can have. So thank you so much. I think we've shared some link there. We have a global purpose-led community that was created, and I think my colleague Patience is here. Kindly join. It's a WhatsApp group. Most of the updates will be posted there. Even the next session will be posted there. Join that group, especially for those who are in Uganda. Kindly join that group. We want to make sure at least we can always share nuggets and wisdom and insights. And also yourself, when you get a revelation and a testimony, put it on that group to encourage somebody. God bless you.
Okay, God bless you, everyone. And yes, next time we're all going together. So no worries. We'll be just join that WhatsApp group. If you have anything to share, please feel free. Even if it's seen later, don't worry about that. Just make sure you keep on sharing your insights, experience, and let's just get out of the bubble that we are in. We are all in the bubble. We need to bust it and get ourselves out. So I wish you all a wonderful night, and the next session will be on the 13th of next month, 13th of June. Please save that date. We will still send the registration details as well to enable you to register early. Wish you a wonderful night, and when we get the recording, please receive it and share it far and wide to enable people to understand such that they can join into the last session easily. Wish you a wonderful evening and good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
God
much,
bless
Hope,
you.
for the translation.
Thank you.
Okay.
And God bless
Thank
you all.
you.
Have a lovely night.
Thank you.
Enjoy your stay in
Okay,
Singapore and
bye-bye.
come with goodies. We look forward.
Yes, I'll be traveling tomorrow.
All right. Safe trip as
Okay,
you come back.
bye.
Thank you. All right.